Now we've got a very special guest coming on, a guy that I'm always really excited to talk to from Sports Illustrated, Lee, the Triceratops, Jenkins.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. I love
Yeah,
those pictures.
don't worry.
Like Griffin right here.
There's no reference there. It's just
That's cool.
he's an oddball. All right, let's jump right into the Lakers series. One you've been on. Andrew Bynum continues to be weird, enigmatic, and very interesting. What's been your take so far this series?
No, I mean, it's funny. I mean, he sets an NBA record for playoff blocks in the first game, and then admits that he isn't prepared for another game, and then gets taken apart by JaVale McGee. So I guess by Bynum logic, he should have an incredible game tonight, and they should roll. So, I mean, the Lakers just I think they're at a loss. I think they don't really know what to make of this guy and what to do with him, but they have no choice but to just sort of ride it out. I mean, what are you going to do?
With the way that he seemed to make comments about closeout games should be easy, and Kobe confirmed that in the post game, saying that he agreed they should be. They should, sometimes they work like that. Do you think that had any effect on Denver with him saying that? And do you think that maybe his teammates would kind of just wish he would shut up and play?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do. I'm sure especially Mike Brown. But it's funny, in Bynum's career, they have been easy, especially at Staples. I mean, they hadn't lost a closeout game at Staples since '06. They'd lost one in Bynum's career at home, a closeout game. So what he said, there was some truth to it. Teams do fold a lot of times in closeout games when you take an early lead. But, George Karl vehemently disagreed with that premise. He put it on the end of his, when they went through their film session, he put it on the very end, that quote. And it's like everything. I mean, it became a larger-than-life topic in the Nuggets locker room. I mean, JaVale McGee. I mean, if this is what it took for JaVale McGee to play hard for 48 minutes, it should have happened years ago. I mean, the Wizards would have had Bynum say that years ago. So they'd
have to get in the playoffs first, Lee.
I think. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think a team like the Nuggets, I thought was going to play hard anyway in that kind of a setting. And the Lakers, for years, this has been their MO. I mean, that should surprise no one that they laid an egg in Game 5. Even with Phil Jackson, they were losing games like that, letting the Rockets take them to 7 games in a year they won the title. I mean, it's sort of a familiar script, and Bynum comes from that Phil Jackson school where, Bynum probably actually thought a lot about that too much. And he would have said, "Oh no, gone there,
right
against the wall," but he didn't. He actually probably gave it more thought than it was worth.
Yeah, as a writer and as someone who has to go in and ask these questions and hopefully get something interesting, that's got to be kind of nice, though.
Yeah, I mean, Bynum he'll always say something crazy. And what's amazing is that it hasn't really stopped him. I mean, all these one little firestorm after another. I mean, he's good for one every 10 days, or less, even in the playoffs. It was funny. I saw him the other night. And
it's great efficiency.
And he saw me.
Great quote efficiency rating.
He saw me and he walks right next to me, and starts just taking threes from the corner. It's like he's just having fun with it. I mean, he's baiting people, and Kobe. What's funny is watching Kobe sort of defend him now on everything he says. I mean, he and Kobe. Kobe's talking about how they had dinner at the All-Star game in Orlando, and that they're kind of these friends now. And I sort of think everything Bynum does and how he pisses people off almost appeals to Kobe. I think it probably flashes him back to the mid-2000s when this was his role.
That's awesome. Kobe, maybe not healthy tonight. Who knows? He's one of those guys who, like, when he's not 100%, will play his best game. But let's assume that he's having some trouble, and even maybe that he can't go for full 40 minutes, what he can usually give them. How can the Lakers adjust to get the game back on their terms in Denver?
Yeah, I wonder if it was a cheeseburger like Sacramento. That same room service kind of situation in 2002. I actually think that when he's not right, they're sometimes better. You know, even this year, they only lost one game out of the games he was hurt. And going back, they seem to make a little more of a commitment to getting the ball inside. I'm sure Bynum will be excited by this news because it means he'll probably be featured a little bit more. You know, he and Gasol, if they can do that and establish he and Gasol, versus Gasol Bynum matchup, it's incredible that went against the Lakers in Game 5. You know, but it seems like that's they'll take their chances, I'm sure, with that. And if Kobe's in more of that facilitator role, I never think that's a bad thing for LA. I don't know about you guys.
Well, speaking of the whole McGee explosion, that obviously has to galvanize the Nuggets because it's an aspect of their game they didn't think they were getting, and that's kind of just wishful thinking,
right.
and it came true. What does that do to the Lakers' psyche to have this deer on ice fumbling through the lane and just dunking on them constantly and swatting shots away? That has to. Do they take it seriously at this point? I mean, it's 3 pretty good games in a row.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'd love to have watched that game with JaVale McGee's agent. I mean, it must have been incredible. I mean, maybe
just tears of joy.
Everybody high-fiving left and right.
Exactly. No, they do. And that's the thing about the Nuggets. It seems like you never really know who to prepare for, who's going to play well. I mean, Aaron Aflalo's done nothing in this series. He kind of broke out. Then McGee. I mean, McGee's a little like Bynum. I mean, the fact that he played so well last night makes me think he probably won't play well tonight. But yeah, I mean, that athleticism, I mean, the Nuggets' overall athleticism is always something that's going to bother the Lakers. What would really worry me about this matchup for the Lakers is the Nuggets are shooting 23% from 3. And that's something that if they haven't even gotten unglued there, the way they move the ball, I think they led the NBA in assists this season. The way they move the ball, the way I thought the series might go is they could be like Dallas, shuttling the ball around, getting open threes, making them. The fact that they haven't and they could at home, makes me think the Lakers, could be in some trouble.